Child. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Welcome to episode 3 of My Vulva and Me, season 4, episode 3. I am so geeked about this one. I am going to be joined by my triplet. Did you know I was a triplet? Well, if you didn't know I was a triplet, now you finna find out I meet my other sisters. They finna come. And so you see how we all look just alike. We identical triplets.
Hey, Trip. Hey, Trip.
Oh my God. Hey, y'all. Look at us. Don't we look just alike?
Just alike.
We is. Listen, I have a confession. I don't know who is who in that picture.
What? That's funny.
I was looking. I was like, oh my God, why would they put the same outfit on? How am I supposed to know? I'm like, how am I supposed to know?
So what would you guess? So who's on the left, who's on the right?
I think you're on the left and Chanel's on the right. I think that's what it is, but
Yeah.
like, am I right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And somebody commented, Simply Sonya commented on the post today. She was like, not me just finding out they was twins on this flyer.
Right. That's we get that so much now. So often.
That was me on Clubhouse though.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, how are we on the stage together and then somebody else is what is going on? Like I was like, she got 2 pages? I was like, well, who is Chanel? I was so confused.
That's hilarious.
I was so confused.
That recently just started happening as we like began to, I guess, I don't know,
grow into like our own brand,
right? Into our own professions.
Yeah,
and so like people, it's weird to us that people are like, "Oh, you got twins?"
yeah,
because we've been twins all our lives and we branded ourselves together,
right.
So, yeah.
Child, I was like, but then we came out as triplets, and then that really just rocked the world. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited you all said yes. I know y'all are super duper busy, so finding time, I really, really appreciate it.
Of course, it's our pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
God, so excited. So, My Vulva and Me, this is season 4. Welcome everybody who are just joining us. This is season 4, episode 3. With my triplets, if you didn't know, now you know that I am. Now y'all gonna have to change double portion. We're gonna have to rebrand because
So come on,
I mean, so, you know, us still shaking together, running over. It's
right.
It's a bunch of us now. Let the parents know that you know there's another one of us. Here we are. But the way we do things here on My Vulva and Me is we always and forever we open with a game. Y'all know I live for a good game.
Yeah.
And Dr. China, you be able, I know when I do my would you rather, this or that, and my stories, you be fussing sometimes. So I figured that we're going to do that today. We're going to do a would you rather, but the twist is y'all have to answer at the same time.
Okay.
And so we're gonna need so I'll say the either or, and then I'll point, and then y'all say it at the same time, and then we'll see if y'all have the same answers, or like do twins really think alike, or do y'all have like that twin telepathy and all of that kind of stuff going on? So we're gonna say. So we're gonna start easy, and then we're gonna ease up into a little more difficult type things. Okay. All right. Y'all ready? Okay. Dog or cat?
Dog.
Okay. Big family or small family?
big family.
I was about to say big, but you went before me. Did you point?
I'll point. My bad. I apologize. Okay. Big wedding or small wedding?
Big wedding.
Oh, okay. Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hamburgers.
Why?
I'm sorry.
I was waiting for the vegan option. Like I thought you was gonna.
It's implied. It's implied. Hot vegan burger or vegan. It's implied. I thought that you were plant-based, and I just don't understand it. I am very much meat-based. Okay, so now we're going to slide over to some a little more. Would you rather be cherished or respected?
Respected.
That's a great question.
That is.
Cherished.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Forgotten or ignored?
Forgotten.
Ignored.
Ooh.
You're saying you would rather be ignored?
I would rather be ignored than somebody be like, "Oh, I'm gonna just forget about her." Because
No,
like, who would want to somebody
Wait,
that
I'm
is
thinking-
forgettable? Like
Yeah,
I love the fact that I'm unforgettable.
No,
I
no,
say
no.
that humbly.
No. I'm thinking like, oh, somebody forgot your birthday or something.
Nah,
No.
instead of you just forgetting about me, I'd rather you just kind of like,
Oh yeah,
say it's intentional because I don't want to be like,
ignore me. You can't forget me.
Period. Big part. Okay. Coffee date or happy hour?
coffee date.
Oh, so cute. Okay. Split the bill or take turns paying for the bill?
Take turns.
Take turns.
Okay. Expensive gift or homemade gift?
Expensive.
Honestly, it depends on the thought behind it. In my opinion.
You have to pick one. We pick one. The fourth choice
Say
activity.
it, expensive, and then what?
Or homemade.
Expensive.
Okay. Now we're going to go into your dating preferences. Okay. Chocolate or light skin?
You be wanting the tea. If I had to choose,
You have to choose.
I know.
all right, we're gonna say it at the same time, okay?
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Chocolate.
Well, of course. It's the only answer. It's really the only answer. Respectfully to all of my fair skin brothers. But okay. Okay. Tall or it don't matter?
You ready?
It
Tall.
don't matter.
Well, you at least gotta be taller than me.
Yeah, taller than me with heels on, and we good.
The with heels, because the nuance matter with heels.
With
But I
heels.
need Robo to be at least a 6'4" piece.
You're tall.
Yeah, you're.
We're not tall. We like
How tall are y'all?
5'4".
Oh no, I'm 5'9" in flats in my feet. So I need.
Oh yeah, sis is a tall glass of
Yeah.
water.
Tall glass of water.
I'm just saying. Okay, kids or no kids?
Wait, hold on. What's the question? For me to have kids or for him to?
Him, is he allowed to have kids?
Oh, my preference is-
Wait, don't answer.
There's no preference.
Wait, you're
You gotta
saying-
pick one.
He's asking
Okay.
for your dating preference.
Yeah, but we gotta answer at the same time.
Why did you have to think about that?
Because, like, 1, 2, 3. No kids.
Why? Why is that?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh goodness. All right.
You
There's
stressing
a
me
couple
out?
more reasons. All right. Do you want your partner to be a virgin or sexually experienced?
1, 2. Wait, do I have to choose? Like, I can't
Do
say
we have to
matter?
pick?
You have to pick.
This is stressful.
Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Wait. My mom got an Instagram.
Right.
I so that. I mean,
Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Filled with the Holy Ghost.
Yes.
Yes.
that wasn't one of the options.
Good save.
That wasn't one of the options. All right, last one, and this is the one that I asked all of the people. Y'all know, y'all heard. I'm sure you've heard me say this before. When it comes to you in relationships, current or past relationships, are you or have you been a antibiotic or a multivitamin?
Hold on. Such a great question.
That is.
That's such a great question.
Well, what's the answer?
Wait. Okay.
So are these current or past relationships?
I think it's all encompassing.
Yeah.
Okay. 1,
Okay.
2, 3.
Multivitamin.
If I understand correctly, so the antibiotic personality is the
Mhm.
one who's going to like help to remedy
fix.
that
I'm
person.
not the same.
But not intentionally. That's just the function of an antibiotic.
And it was intentional. You know, you intentionally take antibiotics to fix something.
But the function of it, I don't know. Maybe I just thought too deeply.
Multivitamin is like, it means you're supplementing what's already there.
Okay.
Right?
It's whatever you
I'm
do.
nourishment. You feel
Okay.
me? I'm not here to fix, but I will nourish you.
Are you changing it? Dr. Shanta?
I think I'm gonna stick with my answer.
Okay. Cool.
I think I'm gonna stick with my answer.
Awesome. Thank you so much for playing our This or That Would You Rather game. Thank you for those who are playing along in the comments. Also here at My Vulva and Me, or the Intimacy Firm, we believe that Black women should have this space to give themselves their own flowers. Y'all already know, when it comes to introducing my trips, I could go on and on and on and on and on because y'all are just that fly. But we like to give space for Black women to introduce themselves. So it's for people who have been living under a rock and don't know who you are. I don't understand how that could be possible, but it may be possible. Introduce yourself and tell the people who you are and why you are so dope.
Yeah, I can go first. So my name is Dr. Shonda. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, entrepreneur, content creator, therapist, psychologist, like all those different things encompassed in one. I have a strong passion for faith and mental health, especially in the Black community. And that's pretty much the foundation of like my career and what I thrive on. So, yeah.
And hi everyone, my name is Chanel Espernos. I'm an NFL executive, speaker, author, and entrepreneur. The Art of Taking L's is officially available on Amazon. Yes, Art of Taking L's available on Black Friday, so be sure to cop up. I think that's everything.
Awesome. Thank you. So again, I'm going to keep saying this 50 more times before we end. Thank you so much. Like, I am so excited. My Vulva and Me is something that came out of necessity during the time we started in May. We were a couple of months into the pandemic. Everybody was losing their natural minds. And I was like, well, everybody's on Zoom. And now that I have everybody's attention, we might as well bring Black women to the front and center where we need and always should be, because I mean, we are the greatest girl group that there ever was. That's just Black women. And so over the seasons, we're now on season 4, I've been able to introduce my community to some of the most amazing Black women to ever exist. So when I thought about season 4, I was like, I mean, we family now, so I'm gonna go ahead and shoot my shot and
Right.
if they're gonna be able to do it. And we all say, yeah. Thank you so much. I respect and honor and just look up to you all. Even in the short time that we've known each other, I just am just so grateful. I'm so amazed by all that you all do, and particularly how you do it. And it's amazing that you all are very much twins, but also very much individuals. And I love that you all have the space where your individuality shines, even when you are in the same space, doing the same thing, having the same conversation. You are still you. And I love all about it. So let's start and jump in right here with, how is it working with your sister?
For us, I feel like it was like a seamless transition because growing up, we literally did everything together. Like we dressed alike until
High school.
Walk around with the same shirt and jeans on. That was just us. And I feel as though we complement each other. So Chanel's more of like the extrovert, like media person, branding person. I'm more of the introvert, kind of like coming up with creative ideas and things of that nature. So us kind of like working together and putting the two forces together, like that just was, it was seamless. Yeah.
Do y'all get sick of each other?
I feel like all siblings do.
Girl, because I was going to say, because my sister wears me out. Like, and this is my baby sister. And since my mom passed, we have been like spent more time with each other since my mom passed. I had to let her know on several occasions, I'm not Lisa. Your mother is dead. Like, I'm not her. I cannot fill in for you and do the things for her that you do. So how do y'all manage business or working together and being so close when y'all have conflict? How do y'all navigate that?
See, that's a hard one. We're still figuring that out. But when we do have arguments or whatever, like I try to emphasize to Shonda that look, we can't let this get in the way of the business. So we cannot let our argument get in the way of purpose. So
and the fact we have like systems surrounding it, like okay, we might be mad at each other today, but we still got this business meeting at 5. Like
yeah. And the thing, I don't know if it's a twin thing or if it's a sibling thing, but we can be mad at each other in one moment, but in the next moment, like we're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yep. I think it's a similar thing. And like y'all be mad at each other, but then something happens that's like an insider, and then y'all both be cracking up, and then go back to like side eye it. But then like, you hungry because I'm getting ready to go get to like come on like, and then be in the car and not talking. Maybe that's just me and my sister. Go home going to the restaurant, not talking, but still get ready to go get something.
Oh, absolutely. Like let us come across something funny on Instagram. We'll be like, this is the only time I'm talking to you, but look at this.
I love it. So both of you work in what could be known or has historically been considered like male-dominated fields. How does that feel like? What is the daily impact of being a boss in a space where that is like surrounded by men?
I'm gonna let you answer that first because she's in sports, so like that's
I would say that every day I'm grateful because I know a lot of people don't get this opportunity, men or women, but especially a lot of women don't. But I do find it to be my responsibility to pull up chairs for others at the table that look like me or other historically marginalized groups. So ever since I got into the industry, ever since I've gotten to the point where I have influence in a room, I've always made it my point to like make sure like I'm making opportunity for other people. I'm giving others the opportunities that I may not have had because it was a struggle for me to get in. So I just want to make sure that I'm an industry changer, a game changer, an industry disruptor, and that's always been my prayer. So
yeah, awesome. What about you, Dr. Shonda?
Yeah, so I would say for me, it's empowering because like just simply being in the room is resistance. So like being with, what some would deem as a very white male dominated field, very foundation of, and I just posted about this, the foundation of psychology is very racist. Yes. And so simply being a person with perceived power, like having the highest degree possible in that field, it's in some ways liberating because other people, whether it's my students or people who follow me, who look up to me, they're able to see that we're changing the status quo of what this looks like. And so that's always been my goal. And also acknowledging the fact that it hasn't always been easy. Like it's been a struggle. I think people see Chanel and I as like being very confident in our roles, being confident in our professions. But it wasn't always like that. Like there were times I had to kind of like talk you from out like the corner. There were times she had to talk me from out of the corner. But simply because the pressure of being in these spaces where we don't belong, it gets to you sometimes. So so it wasn't always easy, but we had each other and we always relied on our faith to get through it.
So how did you all like being always together all the time, dressing alike till high school? Like me and my sister still have moments sometimes when we still wear the same clothes because we did, and because she was born on the 16th, I was born on the 14th, so you can't tell us that we're not twins in real life. But we are so like categorically, unequivocally, inexplicably different. Like it's like that's my baby, but like we are not the same person. So when did you all get to a place where you realize like, okay, we here we like that's my sis, but like I want to be a psychologist. No, I'm going to get my MBA. Like when did that come to be?
What would you say? So from a practical standpoint, I feel as though we were kind of forced into finding our own way and kind of like branding ourselves separately once we moved away from each other.
Right.
So that was
hard.
That was so hard. Like 2 years ago, because if you go back to my page like 2 years ago, it was always pictures of me and my sister, like double portion.
There was no individuality.
Yeah, it was no individuality.
Yeah.
Not saying we didn't have it, but it wasn't something that we weren't as strong in it.
And we didn't care to. It was like, okay, like
that's my sister.
Yeah.
But okay, so 2 years ago
in 2018, I got the job offer to come from Delaware to DC.
Wait, no. This is how it started. Okay, So with this in the psychology field, we have like the internship match process.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you go on a bunch of interviews in different cities and you have to match with a certain location. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, I got all these sites in Maryland, DC. So I'm likely going to be in the Maryland, DC area for these interviews. I find out on match day. And granted, so during that process while I was interviewing, she was like, all right, I'm going to interview in Maryland, DC too. And I'm going to get a job out there. Yeah, and I'm going to get a job out there. We're going to we're going to hit the ground running in the DMV area. I was like, cool, okay. So I had a very high likelihood of being placed in Maryland, DC area. However, come find out on match day, I matched with a site in Philly. So I'm like, yo, I have to move my entire life to Philadelphia. And the same day I found out I matched, she got a phone call from the
Wait, was it the same day?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I just remember it was being an emotional roller coaster.
But she got the job offer. So
I got the job offer. They
for
called
DC.
me. Yeah,
I got offered in Philly.
Hey, we want you to come and work for us here in DC. So on the call, I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And then I hung up and reality hit and I looked at Shonda. I started bawling like straight tears.
Her nose started bleeding.
I was crying so hard my nose started.
Oh my God.
So we had to kind of like pick up everything. I moved to Philadelphia. Yes. Chanel moved to DC for jobs. We were like 3 hours away. It was the first time in our lives where we did not
separate.
Yes, we wasn't living together. We would talk on the phone, but it just wasn't the same. But even though that was a very scary time for us, that required us to become more of individuals. Like I had to establish my own social network, which I wasn't used to doing. Right. She had to do the same. Like it was different.
Yeah. So, but when you all decided, because y'all applied to the same school on purpose, or did y'all just happen to both get into? Y'all went to Del State. I made that up. No, y'all went.
Yeah, we did that on purpose.
Oh yeah, y'all did that on purpose, right? So when y'all applied though, and y'all applied for different majors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So was there a thought even then that like eventually we're going to have to separate?
No. We wasn't thinking that. No. Nope. So because we've never been separated. So this was just formed. So it never crossed our mind that we would have to separate.
And all the on-campus organizations we was a part of together.
Yeah. So
okay. And so that was going to be my next question. When it came to like making friends, like in social groups, like was there ever a space where y'all met someone that one of you liked that the other one didn't?
No, not really. Mm-mm. Only because
now.
Introvert. Like I don't really go out and make new friends and establish it. Like she will always do that, and I would just rely on her for like the social aspect and like her friends and stuff. Her friends will become my friends.
Okay, I'll let you have that.
What?
That's not true.
Well, lately it's been changing because like I'm done school, so now I'm
Come on, let's see, honey. Let's see.
Okay, well I guess at school, yeah, I would make the friends and then right.
And it wasn't none of them you ain't like.
No, we was cool with everybody, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we made friends in like a circle, like the circle would always embrace the twins.
Yeah.
Every group of friends has a set of twins.
They got a set of twins. You cannot be a
group
of
is corny
if you don't got twins.
Like,
oh wait, I got twins in mine. I was about to be like, wait, I got twins in mine. PT, what's up? We definitely got twins in ours. And our group is lit, so I agree. I concur that if your friend group ain't got twins,
you need a set of twins in your friend group. Otherwise,
I mean, it's facts. When you're right, you're right. When you're right, look, y'all, hey, my girlfriend is that like we. So so let's talk dating. Y'all know, I mean, because I'm the #1 Christian sexologist. If you don't believe me, Google it. So of course we're going to talk about intimacy and relationships. How do y'all manage dating as twins? Like, do y'all have a checks and balances process for new boos?
Dating as twins. I mean, the person usually they have to be able to embrace this is my sister, right? Mm-hmm. Therefore, this is our sister.
So that's how it usually is.
Yeah.
So what if but do y'all have a process okay, you gotta check off this list, or this is like, what's the, you meet a boo, like one of y'all meet somebody, you really like them, or do you decide that you like them until before they met your sister, or is it like you got to prepare your spirit to introduce them? Like, how does that, how do they get in as it relates to the other sister?
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Like you said, it has something on mind. No, I think I was looking at you. Think. It's not like I'm gonna wait until he meet my sister to, start liking him. It's usually like the individual start liking the other individual, and then it'll come around to like they may meet the sister, and the sister will usually be like, oh, I like him, or I don't like him.
But then what's that like when we say
then eventually it's usually the sister probably sees something that you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay. That's usually what
true.
It is.
I call it discernment.
Y'all so saved. Y'all so it's so saved. My goodness. So is it hard as a psychologist, is it hard to keep that part of you out of courtships and new relationships, Dr. Shanta?
Like what? Like therapizing people?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that has become a part of who I am. Like, I literally can like watch TV and be like, oh, this person suffers from blah blah blah.
Oh, yes.
So it's hard for me to turn that off, but honestly, I use it to my advantage, because if I can kind of like see something or detect something that's not quite right or right for me, then I'm out, because like mental health is important to me. Like, I want my kids to be good. Like, yeah. So.
What about you, Chanel? Has your field or working in your field, has that impacted your dating life? Have you ever had to like, hold up, bro, like they was trying to like get in because they want like tickets or something?
Yes.
What's up with the season tickets, bro?
That is so funny. Has it impacted? So I will say this: like, if a guy doesn't like sports, like that's such a turn off to me. Like, ew, what do you do with your life if you don't like sports?
You answer the question. She's asking.
I like this out.
Never dated you for tickets or to meet the players or to try out for
No, it's never been
not
like
to try
that,
out for the
like,
team. Oh my God. Not to try out for the team. Oh.
Then you get somebody asking you how to try out. Yes, she did. If she don't want to say it, she did.
Oh my
And
God.
do ask you to say it.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
What? You the coach or the GM or something. What is it?
I'm like a coach or GM. They really do. Just regular people.
So do you keep that part? So when in the dating process do you tell them what you do? Or do you like reframe your job when you're fresh meeting somebody? Like, how do you introduce what you do? When you get to that, like, so what do you do for a living? You be like, I'm in sales. Like, what do you say?
I do that sometimes. Where I be like, I work in sports. But I mean, it is all over the internet, kind of like what I do. So
she out here. You see that? You see that light flex she just did? I'm known, okay?
I mean, it is what it is.
So how do you feel like, what is, okay, let me question this. Come on, words. Let me phrase it like this. What is your biggest, no questions asked, do not pass go, do not collect $200 pet peeve in relationships? Like, if they come at you, if they're trying to talk to you, if they finish this sentence, if they do blank, I'm out.
Are we talking like superficially or like
whatever? It don't even matter.
Superficial, what you gonna say?
Okay, superficially, I do not need to hear you chewing your food. Like, that's literally number one pet peeve. I will literally end the date early if I can hear you.
Oh, smacking wears me out.
No,
I be sending my kids to bed early for smacking. I'm like, good night.
What if I got a gala to go to? I can't have you doing that at a, like, no.
That's big.
I know, because we got to go places.
That's big.
Is that yours? Is that your superficial one too, Chanel?
I won't say that particularly, but I do pay attention to your mannerisms, how well you hold a conversation, because like my sister said, like, if I bring you to the company party, like, can I walk away and get punched and leave you with the CFO while I grab us refreshments? Like I pay attention to stuff like that.
Right. And man, you're going to say stuff like conversate or something like that, or try to pitch your new business idea to my boss.
Right. Or saying,
where's the sound?
where the coach at? Where the coach at?
No, I'm asking for autographs at the Christmas party.
Autograph. No.
That happened to you? It's okay. This is a Oh, okay. So what is your non-superficial, non-negotiable?
Okay. Someone who isn't well-rounded.
Okay, say more about that.
Yeah. So of course, like we grew up in church, we're in ministry.
Yes.
And we love Jesus, but at the same time, I need somebody who offers more, right? Like if you in church,
it's no more than Jesus. It's no more than Jesus. But
you get what I mean.
You have to be well-rounded,
right?
Multifaceted.
Right. Like
yeah.
the only time you travel is to go to convention and convocation. No,
Right.
like
No.
have you been to Paris? Have you been to like out of the country? Like,
Right.
and not to say you have to, but like,
Like, right? I ain't been to Paris yet. Oh my God.
I mean, but like anywhere to Cancun, Miami,
Right.
like,
Something. Right. Somewhere besides your neighborhood block in the tri-state area.
right. And somewhere outside of church or a church-related
Yes.
event, right? I feel as though as people, God created this world for us to enjoy it,
Absolutely.
right? So not just to be in church.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. And that is like, that's really the mindset behind my, efforts to push women in particular to live pleasure fueled lives.
Yeah.
God gave us 5 senses. He gave us this whole beautiful world to experience and to take in pleasure. Even if you are abstaining, there's so much more pleasure in this world that falls outside of sex. Now, don't get me wrong, sex is popping, okay? Orgasm is a holiday, but there's so much more than that. And for those who are single and abstaining, to think that you have to lament and you are suffering or going without is really
Right.
just poor thinking. It keeps you from being
Exactly.
well-rounded. So what about you, Chanel? What is your non-superficial, non-negotiable?
I would say kind of similar, just somebody who doesn't somebody who doesn't understand Chanel in her entirety.
Okay.
Like, granted, yes, I want to talk about the word of God, but we can also talk about the McKinsey statistics that was just released. Like, I want you to be able to speak to both sides of Chanel, whether it be Holy Ghost filled Chanel, or whether it be Chanel who is like the businesswoman, the boss babe.
Come on, boss babe. But you also have to like sports, because if you don't watch sports, then why are you here?
Then why are you here? What do you do with your life?
No, honestly. But all the sports or just football?
See, the crazy thing is I'm more of a basketball fan than a football fan.
Ooh.
Any sport pretty much. Like if you just gotta like sport. If you're like, hey, I don't like sports, I'd rather just look at art. Cool. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're just not for me.
I'll take them. If you're into art, like
Art and sports, right?
I don't care about sports like that.
That's crazy.
Oh my! So where did your love of sports come from? How did this or did you get the job and then fall in love with sports from there?
So I would say it's a combination, but it did start with childhood. So
Nothing.
my dad is like the biggest basketball fan, but all things Philly sports. Like we grew up in a Delaware household. Delaware, we adopt Philly culture. So
Damn.
we grew up a Philly sports fan. I have very fond memories of being at the Wachovia Center at the time, watching Allen Iverson, Eric Snow, the Kembe Mutombo, all them on the court. So that's pretty much where I fell in love with the sport. And then just from there, once I got into the industry, like the love definitely grew deeper.
And so that skipped you, Dr. Shonda. You said you good
I'll
at
go to a game. I'll go to the basketball court, sit in the club section for the fellowship. But I'm not paying attention to who's passing the ball to who.
not the fellowship. You ain't so safe. Ain't so funny. So when you got your MBA, or when you were at this school, what was your major in undergrad?
Marketing.
Marketing. And then you decided you got your MBA. You knew that this is where you wanted to go. Sales, like sports sales, like that was always your plan?
No, I actually wanted to be in communications. Like I wanted to be on the journalism side or like interviewing players. but I started in sales. That's pretty much like the biggest entry level position. From there, I was like, yo, I'm really good at this. Like, on top of the board. So I pretty much stayed in sales for the past 6-7 years, but I recently transitioned to the DE&I space, which was a newly created position that the Lord has allowed to be presented to me.
And they love her at her job. I was out in DC last week, and there was a group of people across the street screaming, Chanel, Chanel!
Aww.
Around and act like Chanel, or should I break their hearts and say I'm Shonda? Hey, y'all.
do y'all pretend to be each other sometimes?
It depends. If I have to, then yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Like last week, I had to bite the bullet, like make a quick decision. I don't want to let these girls down because they're really excited to see Chanel. So I'm gonna just say hi. And they were like, "Oh my God, you look so cute." Thank you.
But with these braids, and they didn't know that you had 2 separate braids.
That is so. I didn't even think about that. That is funny.
Were they?
Yes.
No. Okay, that makes sense. I'm about to say, okay, now y'all know better. Like, cut it out.
They were. Yeah.
So, Dr. what about you? Did you always know that this was your path growing up? This is what you wanted to do?
No. So I never really had like.
She has her cosmetology license.
Yeah.
Like she.
What?
Yeah. Nobody knows that.
Yes. Yep. In high school, I went to a vocational high school, and my major was cosmetology, and so I pursued my licensure there. I got licensed. I was really great at the technical information, so it was really good for me. It was a breeze. But I didn't know what I wanted to do from there. I knew my parents really wanted me to go to college just to get a foundation or something. And then I kind of developed an interest for psychology because I heard other people kind of talking about it. After taking classes in it, then my eyes kind of like were open to, of course, like disparities in our community and just how the mind works and how people interact with one another. It was always very interesting to me. And then I was like, all right, I'm getting this bachelor's degree in psychology. You can't do much with a bachelor's degree. I might as well go all the way. So yeah, there we are.
And you know what? That's why I switched to social work, because I was like, my bachelor's is in psychology, and I was like, if I get a master's in psychology, what am I gonna do with that? But then it was like, if you get a master's in social work, and then you can have your own practice. So I was like, boom, I'm gonna do that, because who feels like being a doctor?
Right.
Fast forward.
Tell us that, and
Fast forward.
I'm currently in my PhD program, but that's neither here nor there. that's neither here nor there, because somebody should have told me that, because I could have been a doctor already, but I went around the corner 2 master's degrees later, and I was like, oh, maybe I should get a PhD. We could have been, but at this point,
a good job educating us on that type of stuff.
No, they did like terminal degrees and for the field and licensure and all. Like, no, they did not do. I actually went to Shaka Fatah's conference on higher education, and they had a panel on. It was in Philly, and they had a panel on what you can do with your MSW. And I was like, oh, bet I could do that, get my little license, and I can have my own practice. Then I ain't got to do all of this school because I'm over it. And then found my way right here back in, right where I am. I'm so over it. So what was your favorite undergrad course? Both of y'all.
Mine was, I'm stuck between Marketing 101, like that entry-level course.
Okay.
And I loved our African American Studies course.
What did you love about it? What did it for you?
Yeah. So I would say that, especially being at an HBCU, like, your eyes are just open to who we really are. In high school, I didn't have the opportunity to really learn about those prominent Black figures, but in college, it's like you learn about us, right? You know, so I really enjoyed that.
Going to an HBCU, you learn about us.
Absolutely,
yeah. I just had to clarify.
That's what I said.
No, that's not what you said. Did she say that?
What'd she say? Tell me again.
No, I said going to an HBCU, you learn more about us.
What did she say?
She ain't say HBCU.
She did say HBCU.
Oh.
I did. Yeah, don't put me in the middle now, but I definitely heard HBCU for sure. What about you, Dr. Shonda? What was your favorite psychology course?
So my favorite psychology course. I love my HBCU.
Yeah.
I'm a strong advocate for it. I think that the psychology program, though, for HBCUs, it reflects something different in comparison to other programs like business. You have Black people thriving in their businesses who come back to teach, right? Professors. In my psychology program, we had one Black professor who was a clinical psychologist. And we really didn't get, it was all Black students, but we really didn't get a representation as to like what a Black psychologist would really look like. So there was one class that I had, Introduction to Black Psychology. And it wasn't even taught by a psychologist. It was taught by an African studies teacher who had a passion for it. Literally 3 people in the class. It was elected. And so from there, like just reading the, different authors like Dr. DeGroy and Amos Wilson, The Falsification of the African Consciousness, all those different things like were required readings in our class. So, and that really kind of like pushed the envelope when it comes to my passion for Black mental health. So that was definitely my favorite class.
That's what's up. And that's interesting to think that you didn't have at a HBCU, that you didn't have a whole program or department full of Black professors. It's so when you think, speaking of your passion for the culture and the mind of the culture, if you will, tell us about Mind of the Culture.
Yeah, so Mind of the Culture is basically, so it was just an online platform or a hub, if you will, that really emphasized mental health in the Black community, especially from a faith-based perspective. And so we had apparel, we did events really just to educate the community about these different things, because a lot of people don't know that Black psychology exists. And so you guys are hearing it here first, but we had to kind of like take a break to get some things in order, but we are now a nonprofit. Culture, nonprofit, period. And so we're going to be doing like a lot more things just to really help to destigmatize mental health in the Black community from a faith-based perspective.
Didn't I tell y'all they was so decent? Thank you so much for bringing this in. So if you are not, after, not right now, but when we are done, make sure y'all are following Mind of the Culture. Minds of, is the S on it? Mind of the Culture. Yes. And then the app still, you want them to still download the app too, correct?
Period. Yes. Y'all can download the app. I get so many questions about how can I find a Black therapist in Massachusetts and Jersey and da-da-da. If y'all just download the app, all of that is right there for you.
Right there. Right. There's an app for that. It's right there. It's called Minds of the Culture. Now, Chanel, I've been working on, because I have a list, right? So I've been practicing this all day because my list, it causes me to struggle. Tell us about, in my head, I don't know if y'all call it this, but NIBSEP is what I'm calling it. National Black Sports and Entertainment Professionals Association.
Yes.
Tell the people.
NBSEP.
Ow.
Not the NIBSEP, but
NIBSEP.
So definitely thank you for the platform. No, NBSEP or NIBSEP, like my triplet likes to call it, is a nonprofit as well that has a focus of bringing together Black professionals that work in sports and entertainment with a bigger emphasis on those who are at or who have graduated from HBCUs.
Damn. They are out here doing the things and things that are not typically said to be for us. We are creating, it's bringing light for those of us who are already there, who have been there, but it's also being that beacon of light for those who want to come. And that is really one of the things that we need. One of the larger things that we need as a people is representation. It is a roadmap. It is that, as you said, like, we always have these conversations about having space at the table. Do we need to bring our own wood so we can make our own table? And whatever way, and I am a whatever way God sees fit type of thing. Because for some people, you may have to build the table. I feel like as a Christian sexologist, in some ways, I'm building the table from scratch. In some spaces, there may be an already well-oiled machine that is not enough of us there. So you all getting your foot in the door, you get the whole, like, when they try to close it, like, I'm bringing my people with me, bringing on. And so everybody's approach to it is different. And I think that that's one of the things that it's like a polarized conversation when it comes to, liberation and our outlook as Black people having a different future is how are you supporting one? Because we definitely all we got. That's facts. But how you support, because support looks different. Just like with the uproar and the upheaval that we've had in society, like post George Floyd and all of that, you may not have been out there with the on the picket line. You may not be doing it. You may be on the phones. You may be collecting donations. You may be at the soup kitchen. You may be, keeping your babies off the street, like so that the, folks don't have to work as hard in other ways. Like whatever way you contributed, it's all about the motive and the motivation. And I think that sometimes people get overwhelmed and like, how can I show up? So then they often just not show up at all. And I think you all are showing the diversity of ways in which you can either be the pioneer, the radical mover and shaker, industry disruptor. I heard you say, Chanel, these buzzwords are just, I love a good word, honey. I'm here for a good word. And I love that. And I love that you are all doing it without compromise of your values, and everything that you do is with Jesus in mind and out loud. Like this, we don't have to dig to find that this is in Jesus' name. Mm-hmm. We don't have to dig to find your boundaries, to find your values, so that people know not to try you. And if they do try you, they bought everything that you get, you bought, because I told you what's what, okay? Because don't let me see it, because there's a few things that I don't play by. And these two are two of them. Okay, try me now. I don't have time, but I will make time. That y'all know, if y'all been in intimacy for any amount of time, I do not have time, but I will make time if you start acting up. So don't do it. So let's talk for just a little bit as we begin to, because I don't want to hold you long trying to get us to be wrapped by 9. But how do you find you manage constructive criticism? How do you find? Because that's how we shift, and that's how we grow and elevate, is through the way we navigate constructive criticism. And as mature and whole and healed as we are, there are certain pain points that's just like, don't touch it, mind your business. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you all navigate constructive criticism?
So for me, I always assume positive intent.
Okay.
And it's such a simple thing to say, but I just remember when my company was doing like performance reviews, and they was teaching us how to effectively receive criticism or feedback from our superiors. And they just always instilled in us, like, assume positive intent. And I just adopted that as a way of life. Like, I'm not going to get offended. I'm going to assume that you have my best intentions. But I'm also going to use discernment, because some things I shouldn't waver on, because some things come from above. So it's always about like having the wisdom as to what critiques need to be applied, and then when to apply it, and what critiques needs to be dismissed. Amen.
Mm-hmm. In Jesus' name. What about you, Dr. Shonda?
Yeah, I think that's great for Chanel. That was a nice technical answer, and that's great because Chanel, if you live it, that's great. But me personally, like, I got offended last week, and so I'm just speaking my truth.
Come on.
But I think that it's important to recognize. Okay, so just to kind of give y'all the backstory. So somebody was telling it was professionally related, and so I gave a professional clap back. I did because I responded out of offense, which I shouldn't. Mm. Right. And I definitely own that. But I would say
what happened? We want to know.
I'm not gonna go into details, but I will say
that how do you hold it back to tea?
But no, like, I would say, like, the key to managing it is to always have objective voices around you, like people who don't always agree with you. So after I sent my long, lengthy text, I had talked to my mom, and I was like, Mom, can you believe this person said da 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 da? So, like, I mean, it was right.
Mamas be knowing, don't they be knowing?
And so that was my moment. I was like, oh, okay. And so, like, in the moment, I didn't realize that was definitely the spirit of offense. But, having objective people and objective voices around you helps you to see your blind spots, the spots that you don't necessarily see. Yeah. And so that, I would encourage y'all just to have objective people around you.
Yeah. Now, the question is, with the people, us, the delegation, want to know, is, did you go back and apologize?
She did not. She did not apologize yet. She's praying about it. How to
is it drafted? Is the message drafted?
How to bring it up, like, without it being weird.
I mean, hey, the other day got a little tense, but I wanted to apologize because, and then whatever you were sorry for.
That's a great strategy.
He ain't gonna do it.
will get you.
Yeah, that thing went just like this.
No, that was good. That was real good.
Okay, so here's the other question that I ask all of our guests. What is something in the same vein of like constructive criticism? What is something that may not be this particular situation, but something that you've been critiqued on about yourself, whether it's a personality or a habit or something that you did not like to hear or that you don't like to hear? It may be a perpetual thing, but you know is unequivocally true. You just don't like it.
Mm-hmm. You want to go first?
I mean, I have an example. So with my very first internship, it was at the Wells Fargo Center in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And it, of course, in the industry, it's not many of us. It's not a lot of women. So at the end of the internship, I went up to one of my bosses, who was the only Black guy on the marketing team, and I asked him for a referral. Like I said, hey, I really enjoyed my time here. Can you write me a letter of recommendation that I can use for future positions? And he said, Chanel, I appreciate that you came to me, but I can't do that. I cannot put my name right on the line for you. He said, you didn't really show up like that. You weren't, like, you were too quiet. It was too many people around you that you allowed to outshine you. And to this day, we're really good friends. Like, and I needed to hear that. I needed to fail in that moment. I needed to know that me being an introvert was holding me back. Exactly. Was holding me back from my destiny of thriving in this industry. So I needed to hear that no in order for me to get to my next level.
So how, because you an introvert? Where?
I am an introvert.
So was it? But so then I wonder, are you naturally an introvert, or were you intimidated in that space?
That's a good question. It might have been a combination, but I will say, like, by nature, if I'm not familiar with my surrounding, like, I default to being quiet. Like even on Clubhouse, like, I be letting y'all rock. Like, I'll stay on mute if nobody.
On Clubhouse, that don't count. Clubhouse is not a good. It's not a good subject. It's not a good.
It's not.
They be doing the most on
the most.
No, Dr. Shana, you know that I'm still. It's too soon to have Clubhouse.
Girl, I'm striking Clubhouse.
Oh, we striking Clubhouse?
Yes.
Oh.
They showed they natural behinds.
Period. It was a mess.
It's too soon. I can't. I'm still. It's the spirit of offense is heavy. Okay, and I'm righteous in my anger.
Well, I was
don't
offended
care.
for you.
Well, how long
I
has
was
it been?
offended for you.
June. So, oh well, I don't care. I don't care. No, I don't care. I don't care. Okay, so then what? But so, what was my question? Oh, you didn't like to hear that, but you needed to hear that. Okay, good. Now, Dr. Shana, what about you? What is something that you hear regularly or have heard in the past that was a critique that you did? It was true, but you didn't like it.
That I take on too much. Yeah, and when you hear it, like y'all just hating that you can't do everything that I'm doing.
Mind you,
Right. You just mad because God gave me the capacity.
Hey. I feel like that's an actual script. I feel like you actually said that.
I did. But and the crazy thing is, like, I've heard, so like on what we call practicum, like I had a supervisor tell me that before because they knew I was like heavily involved in helping my parents in ministry and still trying to like do things for the practicum and all that stuff. I heard it. So when I was in grad school, I was in a whole relationship. And like the dude I was with at the time was like, yeah, you're doing too much. Like, I don't think you could balance all of this. I'm out. I was like, all right, well, you just mad because you don't got the capacity.
And we've grown and whole and healed from that.
I'm whole and healed. Like, that's the homie. Like, we was just.
I ain't talking about that relationship. I'm talking about taking on too much.
No, I'm not. Because they keep telling me that.
Father, we know that your child is in need. Please come.
I think it's one of the things that comes with entrepreneurship, but you have to know how to balance it. Like, you have to know when to say no and find that balance.
Here's how I look at it. Like, when else am I going to be single with no kids? Like, I'm going to do as much as I can. And if I'm tired, I'm tired.
let me tell you something. Well, no, we don't take on that mindset. Hustle culture is the devil. Okay, we do not receive that. We bind that up. You want to go lay down somewhere, okay? Go take a nap.
Right.
But I concur that if you have the space to responsibly grind and do what you need to do so, because I am doing the most with 2 children. And I need to go running a business, working a full-time job. I was at a local position, and I just been promoted to a now national position. Come on, hallelujah. And I decided who told me to go to school in a whole panini press? Like, what? Who told me? Who told me? Dropping a book, doing a web series, the literal most. So if you have time, do this, but then also take naps, because then when the kids come, you're going to be like, what's a nap? And I'm going to be like, see, you should have took the nap when you was out here trying to build a brand and all that. So what is something that you've heard about yourselves that is not true?
This is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, because y'all was the twins. Y'all, like, you floating around in your pink and green and doing all this stuff. I'm so sure they was talking about. Somebody had something to say. What have you heard by way of rumor or whatever that you was like, say what now? No, that ain't happening.
Well, some people think we might be a little, people that don't know us, might be a little mean. But why? I don't know.
I never heard that.
So I guess my resting face is kind of like off-putting. Not all the time, though, because I usually smile. So I don't understand it.
Here's the thing. So I pride myself off of the fact that I have a good name. I'm a person of integrity. I feel like we both do. So I never really heard anything like, oh, well, that doesn't sound like me. I just haven't come across that.
Well, amen. Look at God. That's amazing. I heard some. I mean, I feel like I got a good name, but I feel like I've been heard some stuff like, what?
What you hear? Like what?
What you hear, girl?
First of all, I'm a joy. Very clearly, I am a joy.
A John or
a joy? I am a joy. See, the way he plays, I'm about to block him.
Oh my God.
I am a joy, but I have heard like I don't know if necessarily if I heard it by way of rumor, but there's been times where my good intention was not received as good intention, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves, that I will go off. The spirit of offense will rest heavy on my shoulders if my good intentions are misrepresented. And I think that has been because I love hard. I think that sometimes it could be a little much, like, for people. And I don't think that is much in by way of like, I'm too much. I think that is just more than what folks are used to, because if you're my people, there's nothing that I won't do for you. And so I think that sometimes I give people the designation of my people maybe too soon. And so then I empty out all of my, and then they get, then stuff like what happened in June happens. And then now, now I'm ready to go off. So that's one of the situations, how that went down in June. I was like,
I don't think that speaks to your character, though. I think that speaks to and their insecurities too.
Yeah,
I don't even know what happened. A lot of insecurity in the room.
Oh, I don't know what happened, but
there was.
I'll call you after. I will call you after.
I was trying to do good, and my good was being evil spoken of. We're just gonna say that. And so there was that. So,
okay, I can relate to that.
Yeah,
I can relate to that. If I have an example, if I can share it.
Sure.
So at work, it was a couple years ago, but here's not my thing. Like, if I ask for something to be done, I hate relying on other departments. So if I ask for something to be done and it doesn't get done, like, I'm skilled enough where like I can do it on my own. Like, I'm just trying to follow protocol. Like, I'll do my job and your job to get the project finished. So at one time, it was like a colleague who's not with the team anymore. She called me a loose cannon. She was like, and Chanel just over there shooting off emails to everybody, blah, 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 being a loose cannon. And I told my boss, I was like, I ain't like that. And he said, well, I mean, would you rather be a loose cannon or somebody who's just sitting there not doing their work? And I was like,
loose. Yeah.
That was a microaggression. That right
yes.
there, that was a microaggression.
How?
That was the
angry black
the right. That's the Madison version of angry black woman.
Yes.
Oh, that has set me off. I'd have showed old girl loose cannon. Oh, man.
I'm gonna call her. After
Listen, no, oh, for sure. I remember my boss. I've always worked for black women as a social worker. Black women lead the leadership in social work, and so I always had a black woman that was my boss. I moved jobs, and I had to work for a white woman for the first time in my entire life. She said that she used words like emotional, passionate, like as it relates to how, because I'm passionate about my babies. I don't play about my kids. Y'all gonna get this sex ed, and it's gonna be good, and ain't nobody gonna keep nothing from y'all. I'm gonna give y'all everything I got. So that's fine. But the way she was saying it, because I don't play with white women. If you don't come incorrect, my mama taught me where you act up is where you get jacked up. And I'm not doing all that calling in nonsense. No. You showed out in front of all these people, CC'd everybody up to Jesus. I'm finna show out too. Per my last email, please see attached. According to our prior discussions, you agreed to. And she said, she was like, everything is always per my last email. And now, granted, I came from child welfare where lawyers and things involved. So you have to CYA. So yes, it's going to be per my last email, and I'm going to attach it, and you're going to see exhibit A through Z, because you're not about to say I didn't do something that I did, or vice versa. And so she said to me one day, she was like, it's always per my, and this is literal footage, per my last email, as we previously discussed, I just don't understand. And I was like, why are you doing your neck and hands like that? And she was like, yeah, because that's just how it sounds. And I was like, I don't even talk like that. And she was like, that's what's so confusing, because you don't talk like that. So I'm like, so what is the avatar that you're using to get this description from? Because what's happening? Where is this coming from? She was like, that's just what I hear when I read your email. From where, child?
Why?
I don't listen. Oh, child, she said, and that's what I said. I said, now what you're doing is at the very least a microaggression, but at most, and which I'm leaning more towards, is flat out racist. Because I don't know who you think I am or who you think you are, but as far as I'm concerned, she said something was, she couldn't step in for me because it was above her pay grade. And so I said, because you're my supervisor and you refuse to step in, I'm going to defend myself, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't care how much you get paid. We all adults, so we're going to respect each other in this here space. And so things like that whole loose cannon, yeah.
Well, she said it to me. She said it about
it. Don't matter. That was.
But I want to know what, why? Tell me.
Did you hear her example? Like, you don't have to legitimately say like, oh, she's an angry black woman to put emphasis on that they think that you're an angry black woman. Like, she called you a loose cannon. Would she describe her white colleagues that way?
Did she? Now I'm mad.
That is crazy. I'm about to call her.
I mean, how long ago was that? You can't bring up, that's old. Like, you missed the opportunity.
Remember back 2 years ago when you called me a loose cannon?
Four.
Now that's over. That ship has sailed. But just moving forward, make sure that you be mindful, because they use little slick phrase like that, emotional and what she called me. She said, you're pretty eccentric, like that kind of stuff. Like, what are you getting at, miss? Like, yeah, I don't do well with our fair skinned brethren and sistren. I really struggle with them. So let's close this out on a high note. Describe and it could be either fictional or actually happened, your greatest date.
You said it could be fictional?
Like, you could want this to happen, or it could have actually happened. What would be the greatest date you've ever been on? No, you don't go on no dates. Yeah.
No,
y'all are. I know y'all out here dating.
I'm trying to pick the ideal. Well, okay, I enjoyed. I did a picnic before. That was nice.
Can I have some more details? Bring us into the moment. We want to be there with you.
No, it was nice. And I have like diet restrictions or whatever because I don't eat meat. So the individual like gathered some of my favorite like vegan stuff from like local vegan spots and stuff. Like one of my favorite items is like avocado. So it was like sliced avocado out there and all that.
That's thoughtful.
It was very thoughtful. It was really nice.
Y'all still together?
No.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to know. What about you, Dr. Shanta? What was your greatest date?
Yeah, so
I didn't say greatest. I said that was something I really enjoyed.
I asked for your greatest date.
All right. Okay.
Now, Trip, what is going on?
I said I enjoyed it. It was really nice. It was very well thought out.
greatest.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the greatest date that I would like to go on, I always wanted to eat on a yacht, like just to eat food at night on a yacht. Because it's just like really, I don't know. I don't want to say romantic, but intimate. It's very intimate to be able to kind of like be on the water. I love being on like water and stuff. Candlelight, like all that stuff. That would be dope to me.
Okay, let's put some meat on it. So you're on the yacht, on the date. What y'all got on? Black tie or casual?
Black tie, of course.
Okay. What's the meal?
So I'm a pescatarian now, so I would want some type of seafood since we're on the water.
Okay, so no surf and turf, just surf and surf. Surf and more surf.
Surf, just a surf.
Surf square.
Yes.
Okay, what music is playing in the background? What CD?
Okay. I'm an R&B lover. So, I don't know. I just like a good vibe. Just a good R&B.
So like a night, like a R&B, a 90s R&B, like Spotify type of situation.
Mix. Yeah.
He gonna say y'all too healthy for me. Now, healthy and saved, child. It's very, very covered in all aspects, inside and out.
Inside.
Okay, we got the music, we got the meal, we got the outfit. Where are y'all going to? Are we going to a destination or are we sailing around the harbor?
We're just sailing around the harbor just to do it.
Because you gotta go to work in the morning. Because you're doing a lot. You got too much going on.
Yeah.
You got clients to see tomorrow, so you can't go. Okay, so let's get back to this picnic, Chanel. Was there bug spray? Because that really means he want to marry you if he bought you bug spray.
No.
That's why y'all not together no more, huh?
And this was years ago.
So was this like in the springtime? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was nice outside.
She'd being real cagey about this little picnic.
Mm-hmm.
You hear this? Like, Trip, what is, like, at this point, we twins, because why are you being so cagey about this date? This date?
Oh, cool. It was a cool little date.
A cool little date.
Right, that's so wah-wah. Like, what?
Cool.
So where, if you had your dream date, where would you go?
My dream date. I like the idea of a boat.
Okay, so let's put some meat on yours. Black tie or casual on this boat? Like bikinis and shorts, or like gowns and such?
Black tie.
Beautiful
gowns.
Is that?
You never saw that? All right, I'll tell you later.
Oh my God!
No,
And I don't get to talk because I don't see nothing. I never know nothing. I don't know where nothing's from. I don't know nothing. And all of the 90s black movies, I didn't see none of them. My girlfriends get mad at me all the time. So I'm with you. But beautiful gowns, I know. But anything else, I probably wouldn't have got. So don't feel alone. So y'all black tie. What's on the menu?
Definitely some surf and serve.
You don't eat meat.
Surf and serve. I'm pescatarian.
I thought you was vegan. Oh, surf. Okay, good. Oh, see, we just got so much closer. My God, because I was nervous. If you don't vegetable and you don't eat no cheese. Do you eat cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, praise God. Because one of the most important people in my life doesn't eat cheese. And I just really don't understand how we're close. She means the world to me. And I could not imagine my life without her. But she don't eat cheese. And it really stresses me out. She don't eat macaroni and cheese.
really?
She don't. And she's literally the greatest woman walking the earth. And I don't understand it. But I love you, boo. She's watching. People get me. Okay, so surf and serve, black tie. Where y'all going? Around the harbor or to a destination?
We can. It's Baltimore Harbor though, or perhaps on the wharf, like in downtown DC. We out there.
Because you gotta go to work tomorrow too. Because you can't. Cause y'all can't. And so, what music is playing in the background? What's our soundtrack?
A mix
of.
So I guess romantic. We can play some Ari Lennox. She got a nice
like Ari and Jasmine like duet.
So we can put a couple songs in there. It's gonna be a mixtape.
But that's specifically that song on Jasmine's new album. No, not that one. I'm sorry, Mom, because Mom's watching. I'm sorry, Mom. I just don't watch. You know what? Thank you so much, ladies, for indulging me. Thank you so much for joining me. So please let everybody know once again where they can find you, and y'all both have amazing things coming up, books coming out, nonprofits launching. Like, let them know where they can find you again and what they can do to support and what's coming next.
Yeah, so you guys can follow the page. It is shonda.n.chanel, and stay tuned with some of the things that we have coming up. You can follow my personal page, Paging Dr. Shonda. I also have a few things launching, and also follow Minds of the Culture Inc. and stay connected.
Awesome. And as my sister said, yes, you can follow at Shonda and Chanel. You can follow me personally at Chanel S. Reynolds, and you can visit my website, www.chanelsreynolds.com. Again, The Art of Taking L's releases on Black Friday. Let's get it.
All right. Now, just close us out, both of you, with what does it mean to you to be a Black woman?
One word or a sentence?
However the Lord leads, however you feel so led.
Being a Black woman means to resist every notion or stigma that is attached to us, that is attached to us from society, and resisting that for our own wellness.
For me, being a Black woman means showing up confidently, unapologetically, and being authentic.
That's so good. I love y'all. I love us. I love Black women. I love all the things. I love all of you for tuning in, sticking with us over this last hour and 13 minutes. Thank you so much. And we will be continuing this amazingness on Thursday for episode 4 with the amazing Sharonica Lene of Blushing Elite Organizational Services. I might have added those last 2 words to her business, but she definitely is the GOAT. Like, you ever heard of home edit? Sharonica is better than even them, and she does it in the blackest womanist way that you could ever do it. And she makes sure she doesn't just make your home look better, she makes your life better. So join us on Thursday at 8 o'clock, same bat time, same back channel. Love you. Bye. Bye, boo. Thank you
For having us.